Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to Hardcore Heroes Arcadia. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Yep.
You seem energetic.
Excited to slay a dragon. Are you kidding? you can't put it off any longer, Neal. We're coming for you.
What about the displacer beasts and the phase spiders that you're supposed to go around capturing?
I was thinking about it, and I was gonna let it come up in game, but I'll say it now. I think those are metaphors. I am the displacer beast. He's the phase spider. And quest completed. I'll take my experience now.
Then what are the smoke mephits?
I don't know, but I've got him tied up in my basement.
That's an incomplete metaphor, Ryan.
It's the unicorn, maybe? Jeeves? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not doing fuck all for that guy. Fuck him.
Jeeves?
Oh.
What?
No. Well, we'll get to it. Malchus.
Really? You're not going to do anything for him?
No, you can get fucked.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Finding hardcore heroes. Sorry, just joining Roll20.
Ah, yeah, and the Discord audio.
At some point we'll need dice. Oh, and the Discord audio.
Oh yeah.
Discord audio. Yeah. I was not joining out of protest until Ryan joined.
You're such a loyal person.
I know.
So, is there any recap we need to do? Or?
Yeah, let's talk about what happened last week.
Gotta get that extra 200 XP.
All
right, so we...
Is that even a thing?
No.
It is? Not anymore.
No, we have a new XP system where I just estimate everything and throw all the numbers together and then divide it by 2.
And then
way faster.
Again.
So, last week we started construction of the siege engines necessary to slay a dragon. I think dozen or half dozen ballistas or something are in
7, I believe,
in production.
Yes. Wait, but are they heavy ballista, light ballista?
They're light
ballista. Yeah, light.
How convenient.
Yeah. Georg got to meet Chancellor Landslide, and I think made a good first impression.
Yeah, and sucked up to him.
Yeah. Surprised Malachi by
a little bit
being fluent in Dwarven and already on better terms with your Baron. I mean Chancellor. Then
yes, he's not my Chancellor.
All right, and then we got out for a little bit of fresh air and adventure. Went up to the shadows of the Shadow Mountains. Right? What is that valley called? The Hidden Valley.
Yeah. Lake
Mysterium on the Hidden Valley. Met
a friend of yours.
Introduced Malachi and Tyrus to Porvin, the nudist mountain wizard, who was able to tell us where a former Chimera's lair was, which turned out to be Chimera. Chimera.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah, Chimera. Chimera would be the proper Greek, right? CH is typically a hard C from our Anglicization of Greek. But I'm an American. I will pronounce it confidently and incorrectly. Yeah, Chimera Lair, which was inhabited by bugbears, but we made quick work of them. Actually, very slow work, didn't we? It was like 20 minutes of a D4 plus 3 dagger poking and prodding restrained bugbears to death. It was horrifying for Georg and Tyrus to watch, I imagine.
Yeah.
And then we found the treasure. We're now all fabulously wealthy.
Yeah.
We captured a smoke mephit on the way home, and then shit got real fast.
Yeah.
There were a couple of conversations with a
I don't know how to. I think we should.
Power.
Yeah, I don't want to try recapping because I don't know. We went we split for a second. Georg checked out this valley. Or do we have a map up right now? Or
Shirebrook map is up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's Skull south of Shirebrook, that valley where Malachi thinks the lair of this Shadow Dragon or whatever is.
We poked
around the valley. We captured some smoke mephits, and we're not really sure what's at the top of the valley, and we've both had two different investigations.
Well, Georg went up
separate
there
investigations,
and then tried to warn me off.
Actually, yeah, I went up there and I came back and I told you not to go, or I didn't recommend it, but I wasn't going to stop you.
If you want to hear those
And you wanted to go
conversations, you
anyways.
should go watch the last episode, because we're not going to recap them, because they were held independently of each other. And hopefully you guys didn't go back and
I
watch
think
each other's
we agree. I mean, I
conversations.
said you can go up there, but I think it's a bad idea. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
And Malachi insisted. And then, so I think the next morning you set out up there. I teleport back. We're like, all right, I'll see you in Shirebrook if you live. And Tyrus, walks off on foot.
The one question is, where did you teleport yourself to, Ryan?
Okay, so I
did you go to Shirebrook or did you go to Misty Rapids?
I guess we'll just take care of this now. And I don't know.
Did you go to Shirebrook? Yes or no?
Teleported to Misty Rapids.
Okay, cool.
From wherever you'd call that, the Hidden Valley.
Right.
From that lair. I reduced the mephits into their cage separately. Because you can't do the whole thing as one.
Right, they're separate objects, so 3 reduces.
So 3 reduces and a teleport gets me and the mephits back to Misty Rapids, and then I'll teleport back to Shirebrook the next day. I don't know how long it's going to take Nick to get back, but I think we'll have a day in our respective.
Yeah,
I got back the same day you left.
Yeah, so I don't know how long. Like I wasn't actually. When I left last week, I wasn't even sure if you were going to live.
Right. Well, he lived.
He does live. I mean, so I will. So we'll reconvene in Shirebrook in a day. I've got a few quick things to do in Misty Rapids. Well, I guess I'm in a day's worth of things to do, but hopefully we can get through it all quick so we can get on to slaying our dragon. And I assume Nick's going to have similarly in Shirebrook.
You both have a few things you need to do independently. Yes. I don't think either of your things need to be done in secret. No, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't think it's anything that you guys would try and hide from each other or needs to be hidden from each other. So we're just going to all stick around for this. And we'll let Ryan go first. Unless, Nick, you have anything to add before we hop in.
Just that when I get back to the tower, Georg stole the mephits, right?
He didn't take them to Misty.
I think yes. You get back to the tower, and Garrett. So you probably beat me there. I'm half expecting to show up to Shirebrook the next day, and Malachi still hasn't returned from wherever he went.
I do believe Malachi, you went to the tower, grabbed your books on necromancy, wandered off into the woods, and
yeah.
Books of necromancy? What's going on here? I thought we were doing me first.
We are. But that was last week. All right. So
spoilers, geez, I'm like the only one in the world who hasn't seen that.
But it's not what you think it is. All right, let's do Georg. You're in Misty Rapids.
Yeah. So I want to get the mephits permanently restrained or permanently nullified. So right now they're reduced. They're in a cage. So we're gonna spend most of the day doing whatever needs to be done to like get them, I don't know, chained and muzzled, so that I can leave them imprisoned until we figure out what to do with them. I may think about trying to communicate with them, but first let's get them permanently
chained
restrained.
And muzzled.
Yeah, so I'm thinking some sort of metal contraption around their face. I'm thinking I'll probably spend the afternoon if I need to custom fit a lock to it or something, and get them some proper metal chains. Because right now they're bound with like 12 feet of my silk rope,
right?
And gagged with like loose fragments of cloth.
Right.
So I think if I leave, And another thing I'm worried about is I know that they can like conjure in their friends. I don't know how to. People. They can gate in other demons. So I'm not sure if if they need verbal components to do that, but let's just cover all our bases.
Okay. So that's what what do you use to shackle them up? Actual shackles?
I think I'll head into Misty Rapids to buy something, because I don't think I can't like forge my own shackles in a day.
No.
So I'll go and buy whatever I think is most closely resembles what I described, and make any modifications necessary. If I want to I could put a lock on it and like wizard lock them, something along those lines.
Why don't you shell out like 10 gold for shackles and chains and implements of restraint?
Which is that sort of stuff already in the dungeons?
There's probably stuff, but you might need to get slightly smaller things to fit
yeah,
the
so
mephits.
yeah.
You need to go buy like child-sized shackles.
Yeah, so I would ride my Phantom Steed into Misty Rapids, buy what I need to buy, check up on things. I don't know if things need checking up on.
I've
been away for a few days.
The sheriff in town is complaining that there's still no real order. There's no gatekeeper. He keeps getting people coming around asking, well, I've got this problem, but where's the Baron? He needs to resolve this problem for me. And the sheriff's like, the Baron's gone. Deal with it on your own. So he's bitching to you that you're not around to do your
But it doesn't sound
duties.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like real problems to me. So like he like runs up to me in the street and complains. What does he need? Money?
No, he needs you to be around to do your job.
Nerdy.
Yeah.
Well,
he needs a Baron.
To slay.
All right.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. How much did you say? 10 gold?
10 gold. Yeah. But you've got to get 2 sets, right? So 20. 10 for each.
Sure. And do I find like a muzzle or a...
Yeah,
or am I able to find like a metal cage to put around their head? Like, what do I think will do the best at preventing robot components that can't eventually be clawed off, right?
Probably some sort of like leather band gimp mask thing.
I think I'd like it to be
an actual
metal, or at least braced in metal or something. If I need to do that bracing myself, just so that it's not something that, if you leave them alone for however many rounds to make however many bend bars checks, that they wouldn't be able to eventually tear their way free. Metagaming a little bit, but the mechanics of D&D are super weird.
Yeah. I don't know if any of those, like anything like that, is going to be readily available on hand. That sort of thing can easily be crafted, but will take some time. I don't know if there are mephit size.
Okay, so then I'll make whatever compromises I need to make to do this in a day's work.
Okay.
What else do I need to do? I mean, so what can I do in a day with a ton of cash to solve the sheriff problem? Because I don't really have time to.
Yeah, but that's the issue. Is it's not
what's going on with
problem that you can throw money at.
Long term. I need to empower these guys to take care of themselves, whether that's funding money so they can buy more.
Well, you could hire a chancellor to oversee your operations and kind of, run the barony for you, and you can just sit back and collect some money. He'll take a pretty big cut.
But I don't trust anyone to do that. is the issue. What is so? While I'm in Misty Rapids, I can check up on
Vanessa. Could do it.
Vanessa, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if we need to role play that out, but I wouldn't make her officially chancellor, but
Why not?
I guess she's noble born, right?
No,
her sister was the old sheriff, at least.
Yeah, but
they're not nobles. Last name? Didn't have a last name? Was it just a sir? It was actually just not a noble.
Not a noble.
But a chancellor doesn't need to be a noble.
No, it doesn't.
And Misty Rapids is a backwater. They don't really care about such titles, right? To her,
and they're also overseen by a dark sorcerer who steals people's souls, and
Yeah, okay. So do you want to role play that and counter out, or
sure?
Sure. Okay. All right.
Well, we'll do it quickly though. We can get back to the rest of the storyline. Okay. So
I'll visit her.
You find Vanessa
in Misty Rapids
in her residence. She's currently in a meeting with a merchant traveling through town. She lets you in.
I knock and interrupt the meeting.
She lets you in.
Do I recognize the merchant?
Recognize
him as a merchant? Like, is he
you recognize him as a merchant, yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing traveling clothes that look like they've seen some wear, but they're fairly nice. He doesn't have any weapons on his sides.
So I just she opens the door, maybe a crack to see who it is, and I just enter. Vanessa, and I give a nod to the guy, sir.
Excuse me, my lord. I have a meeting I'm in right now. Would you be amenable to waiting a few moments?
Certainly, no rush. It's only time, and I'll make myself comfortable. I don't know, however.
Yeah.
But my presence now. So I imagine the merchant will get up and leave.
He stands awkwardly in the room, looking at you and looking
so
down.
Like, I don't know what Vanessa's house is like, but if there's I don't know, kitchen or a stove, make myself some tea. Like, I'll be very much present, and I imagine he'll get up and walk away, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or do I overhear some sort
so
of juicy negotiation?
She goes over, stands next to him. They whisper to each other for maybe a minute or two. At the end, they shake hands. She gives him a pat on the back, and he leaves the house. And then she comes over and says, it's been far too long since we've had the pleasure of each other's company.
I'm like glancing out the window, trying to figure out how long it's been. It's been, 4 days?
No. Has it? Feels like a lifetime.
Out of character, Neal. I teleport everywhere, so I'm at least, like, even if I'm not actually doing anything effective in Misty Rapids. I think I met with Vanessa just a few days ago.
Maybe she's just being charming and saying she likes your presence, and it's been so long since she's had
it. All right. So I just got an earful from the sheriff.
Yes, there has been seemingly a dereliction of duty by whoever runs this dump.
Can you believe this? Asking for more government intervention?
Well, a certain amount of regulation is necessary to keep everyone happy. Now, you must have something if you're going to barge in on a meeting of mine like this. So, what is it you want?
I trust you put that steel to good use.
She nods. Yes.
It will be, more useful hammered into plate, but such things take time.
Did you come to discuss steel? A simple letter would have sufficed in that case.
No. I had other subjects in mind.
Well?
I look at her. You're usually so much better at guessing intentions. Then I suppose I will come out and say it. You are well liked in this town with a sense for power structures. You know what needs to be done, and what doesn't need to be done. Even if most people will tell you otherwise.
I suppose that's a wonderful compliment.
I suspect you run more of this town than most people think, but perhaps it is about time to make your influence a little more official.
Excuse me? I thought you wanted me to stay in the background.
I don't think the shadows are necessary. When a whole world is cast into shadow,
are you thinking
the best place to hide may be the light?
Are you thinking of replacing the sheriff?
Is that the title you desire?
I don't desire any titles of my own.
I am very much unused to this system of structures you have here, but I believe I have in my power to name you whatever I or you wish. A knight, perhaps even a lord, but such things may be conspicuous and frowned upon. What I'm trying to say is I should be deferring to you in such matters, no?
I suppose, but
So what'll it be? Shall I make you Sir Sheriff, or merely Chancellor Vanessa?
Chancellor Vanessa. My.
We can call you Captain Soggy Bottom for all I care, but I don't think that would inspire much allegiance in the people.
No. Well, I...
Would you... Well,
this is an unexpected honor, your liege, my liege. I never really ever envisioned myself as a chancellor, but there are certain draws to that. As you said, hiding in the light might be the best way. Do you have other appointments to make, or would I be free to appoint my own captain of the guard and gatekeeper and ranger?
You wish to move into the keep.
Well, it would be odd for a chancellor to live in a hovel such as my own.
Well then.
And if I'm going to oversee the duties of yours, then I would need certain executive powers to do that properly.
Yes, whatever you deem necessary.
Well then.
And as for your own gatekeeper, captain of the guard, as I said, you may continue to operate your organization as you see fit. If you can find someone who can open that gate, well then, I'd certainly like to meet them myself.
The gates. See.
Well then, if you'll take the job, would you like some sort of public ceremony?
I think that would be required, else no one would listen.
Well, I've only got the afternoon, and even only some of that. So, make what arrangements you deem necessary. The church, top of the hill.
The top of the hill, then. Yes.
All right. So at some point that afternoon, we'll have a brusque swearing-in ceremony or something. I'll find. Are there books in Misty Rapids? Does the church have holy books to swear people in on?
Yeah.
So I'll swing by.
Okay. You can get her appointed. The sheriff comes. The other high-level people in town come, and then some peasants gather around. But this is, half an hour, maybe an hour of notice that there's going to be a chancellor swearing in thing, so it's not a very crowded area, but the people who need to know are present.
Mm-hmm.
She gets sworn in as chancellor, and
all the powers and privileges, blah, blah, blah. It's super vague, right? I don't know. She gets basically, and takes a knee, right? I don't know, kisses fingers.
Whatever you want.
How do these things work?
I mean, you're running this ceremony out of your ass, so you can make her do whatever you want in this situation. Is there anything key to your ceremony that we should know about? Any oaths that she must make specifically? Any wording on things you want to be careful of?
No, I don't even know if she says anything. I'll talk for a minute and a half, maybe. We'll gather the crowd, and I'll deliver a short.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. We're here to. I don't know what we're. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
a short rambling. Yeah.
All right.
So take any. I Lord, as Lord of Baron of these lands, I appoint you, acting chancellor to make decrees on my behalf. In my absence, as long as it may please me, and do you swear to uphold the laws of this land and
she agrees
of gods and men and?
She agrees to all the terms. And
what is she? So we probably is swearing over a Bible even a thing? Do they have a ye old Bible? I wish I had I really need to get a sword or something to do this.
You don't need.
I feel like using wind shear would probably be in poor taste, but I don't actually have my own scepter or anything made yet. I haven't at any time.
You're the poor man's baron.
No way. I think we'll use one of these steel ingots as part of it, and maybe some sort of book. Doesn't really matter which.
Swear
book.
on this steel ingot.
I was thinking to just have her swear on my spell book or something,
Ooh.
but I felt like that's why I said other books at the temple. So I think we're doing it at the steps of the temple. So maybe there's a.
You can find some holy text if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
But the right of kings and lords is not divine in this world.
Mm-hmm. And I think so she'll take an E, and maybe instead of knighting her with a sword, I knight her with just a steel ingot. And because my only staff is a wooden stick. Okay. So I place that on either side of her head and slip it back into her. So a flash of steel. Tap, tap.
Tap, tap. All right.
You may rise, Chancellor.
She is now Chancellor and immediately sets about to create her cabinet and run her little government.
Is she coming with me back to the keep to like?
No. She's got shit to do. She's got.
Yeah, I don't imagine she'll ever. I mean, the keep is basically sealed up out there in the. Yeah.
Well, she has her ways.
So I'm imagining she'll set up an office in town or something. We'll see what happens. We'll see what sort of mess she's come up. I think
All right. And what are your plans then? Anything else you need to do? I want to get the party back together as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I think that should be it. I finish up restraining the imps. I don't know if we want to do any poking and prodding while I'm there. I may cast an ESP spell to see if I can start some sort of line of dialogue with them, but I'm guessing they'll probably just be left in the dungeons in Misty Rapids until I can figure out what to do with them.
Cool.
So in 9 minutes, am I able to get any words out of them, or are they just like?
No, they are resistant to communication.
Really? So when I like put them into chains, get them all muzzled and probably locked and wizard locked. Is that what ends up happening on there? In which case, I might need to drop more gold on the lock on there, or does tying it up make just a?
Yeah, I guess there's probably some lock that needs to come with these things. Details are just shell out some gold. We could spend hours discussing these locks.
Yeah, we already did 10. I don't know. We can. Whatever.
It's fine. Let's say you can reuse a lock from a normal set of shackles, so you don't have to buy anything else.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So they're both shackled and probably not even iron yet, huh? Everything's probably bronze.
Yep, everything's bronze.
We'll get this. Yeah, get that fixed eventually. But so they are not thinking anything when I'm like.
The surface thoughts are all this fucking person. I'm gonna murder his face off. It's very antagonistic.
What about when I show them the amulet? And are they like? I'm sure they're resisting when I'm shackling them, or have they just like given up?
No, you have to like beat them into submission as you try to shackle them.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So I mean, if they're resistant,
probably also
I'll pull out the amulet and be like,
I think they also shoot
back,
city
Neal,
balls
to your
at
lord.
you.
They don't have any sort of respect for.
No, they use their breath weapons on you to help like temporarily blind you and.
They can't use their. Well, that's the whole point of keeping their.
Right. Well, until you shackle them, they can use their breath weapons.
I probably knock them out for the course of. Yeah.
Okay.
For the course of the transfer of shackles, get them in. How many cells are there in Misty Rapids Keep? Is it like 2? Or is it more than that?
I think it's 3. Yeah.
So give them each their own shackles. God, if I come back and like so the entrance to the dungeons and the exit are both wizard locked.
Everything except the front door is wizard locked.
Yeah,
the gate's wizard locked, but everything else.
I'm just imagining coming back to a keep that is run by mephits.
Hundreds of.
I know Malachi is going to throw a fit that I didn't bring the imps back to Shirebrook, but do you want these little fuckers loose in a town full of refugees? No, right. Better that they're locked up nice and tight in Misty Rapids Keep.
All right. All that is done. Is there anything else that you need to get done before we merge the parties again?
I don't think. Do I have time for anything else that day? I've got to wait till the next morning before I can rememorize teleport.
It probably takes you a couple of hours to get all the Vanessa stuff done, and a couple of hours to get all the mephit stuff done, and maybe a little bit more than that, and then memorizing spells, doing a few maintenance.
Well, I didn't memorize spells until the next day, so I memorized spells out in the woods this morning, right, and then shrunk them, teleported back.
Sure, and then you head back that night. Or back to Mr.
No,
Rapids,
I need a new teleport. So the next morning is the morning after is when I will
perfect.
show up back in.
So let's flip
yeah.
over to Nick then.
Yeah.
All right. So you.
Oh, Rant. Sorry to interrupt. I would have had to burn a wall of iron in the woods to teleport back. So they're inserted in the woods somewhere out near that valley. I think I cast it in the dirt. No, so that it didn't, because it can merge with a non-living object. So I think like buried in the dirt out there. It's a wall of iron. I don't know.
Well, it can't fill. You can't cast it into the earth. You could cast it on the ground. So
why can't you cast it into the earth?
Because you can't.
If it can merge with non-living matter, why can't it merge entirely?
No. So it's like if you have a non-living thing here, the wall is adjacent to it, and then they merge that way. But you can't displace existing earth in the ground with a wall.
Okay.
Right? Because what would happen if you cast the wall of iron into an existing wall of stone? You just replace the stone?
Then can you use it to like plate a surface in iron, or like
I think
build
that's
it in
probably
that way
too fine. You might need a higher level spell to do plating.
I'm trying to figure out what happens when you like build it in. I mean, because at some point it's going to have to. I assumed it was just whatever. It doesn't.
Well,
okay.
It doesn't matter. Let's do
it in such a way that the Tyrus and Malachi probably don't. Like I walk off into the woods and instead of taking a piss, I summon a wall of iron somewhere nondescript. So I don't know if I tip it down and there's a loud thud. Like I go out to take the dump and there's a few seconds later. Boom!
Giant,
as this 30,000 pound
yeah.
wall of iron goes smashing horizontally.
I've seen one of your walls of iron in the Mr. Rapids Keep anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let's flip back over to Nick. So before we hop to the next day, that night you went to the keep.
Yeah.
Grabbed some books of necromancy. Which books did you pick up? Do you have their names?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me go back to the list you sent me here. Right, let's see. There's definitely some necromancy, but I'm just looking at the list trying to find them. So, there and back again, a necromancer's tale, and vices and virtues of necromancy.
Excellent. Okay, so you grab these books.
Yeah.
Head out into the woods. What do you use for light while you're out there? Just your staff of continual light?
Yeah, my stone of continual light.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you set up a stone out in the woods. Start reading these books. Cruising through them. When you feel this presence, you feel something is here. Something's watching you.
Well, like something's like standing there. I'll go and look around them, but it's lit up, right? I can't see anything.
Right. You get the feeling that something is scrying on you from above and behind.
Look up into the sky.
Right. As you start looking up, you see Aldrich walking past you through the woods at the edge of your light.
Sure. I go and walk off after him.
All right. Well, as you start to get up, he just kind of fades away in the center of so he's like clipping through the edge of your light radius, and as he clips through the other side, he just kind of dissolves and disappears. But the sense of someone scrying on you from above and behind is still strong.
So I look around thinking who it could be.
As you kind of locate the spot of the scrying, it fades out, and you're left alone in the woods again.
So it's either Georg, the dragon / monster again, or maybe it's Van.
So, yeah, you can probably piece together that Georg doesn't have access to necromancy. I don't know if that's come up.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but a spellcraft check would probably reveal that.
Yeah, it
could be an illusion.
I wasn't insinuating that you'd summoned Aldrich's ghost. I mean the scrying, but I guess feeling rather uneasy. Do I discern anything interesting from these books?
I mean, you're only partway through them, but yeah, there's all sorts of interesting things.
So
Especially the there and back again, a necromancer's tale. That's what you're in the middle of when Aldrich walks in front of you. But
so what is that book about?
it's a tale of a series of stories by a necromancer of his attempts to kill people and then bring them back from the dead with their full consciousness. And all these, this time he develops a skeleton, this time he develops a zombie, and each time it's still a mindless, inanimate thing. And then eventually he's trying to use some sort of hypnotism while he kills a person to maintain access with their mind while they die to get information from what the dead look like. And he writes, his notes get a little scribbled when this goes down, and he writes very excitedly about being able to communicate with his subject even after breathing has stopped and the person starts to grow cold, and yet he can still, through this hypnosis technique, which he doesn't detail, get information from what it's like to be dead.
That's pretty cool.
And that's the last section in the journal.
So the undead that he summons in this process, yes, they're mindless and subservient, completely under his will.
The first few were not. The first few were just mindless and didn't do anything. Further attempts made them more subservient until they were, your typical zombies or skeletons.
Okay, so I'm pondering on the essence of life and chaos, and it strikes me that life is in essence a chaotic thing, is it not? Right? Life doesn't like to be controlled. However, the undead, almost the epitome of order, because they are completely under the control of the one who's created them. And I'm pondering this this interesting theory and the events of the previous morning, when I stand up, close the books, put them in my bag, and head off to Father Owen's temple.
Okay. You make your way through the streets of Shirebrook until you find yourself at the temple. It is late. The temple door is still open, and there's a simple acolyte sweeping the floor who looks up as you walk in.
Good evening.
The acolyte gives you a timid nod.
Is Father Owen here?
Mm-hmm.
Is he asleep?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be awfully troublesome to wake him?
Mm-mm.
Thank you.
All right. He scurries off, brings back Father Owen a few minutes later, who's dressed in like not his typical monk's clerical robes, but like a bathrobe sort of setup. He comes out rubbing his eyes. Why have you risen me from my sleep at this hour?
I have dire news, Father. Would you care to get dressed and accompany me to my tower?
He gets dressed and accompanies you to the tower.
So this is like early morning, right?
Yeah. Not quite sunrise.
This is about the time when Malchus's constellation should be in the sky.
Yes.
So I take him up to the observatory.
Mm-hmm.
Father, I don't know how well versed you are with astrology, but I'm sure you're aware that the gods represent themselves as stars in the sky.
Of course. That is common knowledge.
Yes, well, I look through the telescope and point it to where Malchus's constellation would be, and say, would you mind looking through there? Tell me what you see.
He does. Comes back. Nothing. The winter sky, devoid of any light or life.
Shouldn't Malchus's constellation be rising right about now?
I suppose it is near the end of the year. You've just got the telescope pointed in the wrong spot.
Feel free to take a look. It's not there. I've consulted with many people.
All right. He dabbles with the telescope, eventually starts sticking his head out windows, and goes, Is it a cloudy night? No, it's a full moon. I can see... Oh, come now, Malachi. What trick is this?
Well, I've had quite the eventful morning, Father Owen.
Have you cast some sort of invisibility spell on the stars?
If only it were that. If only that were possible, but no. Indeed, Malchus's constellation is missing. I was hoping maybe you would be able to provide some answers. But I'm afraid I've stumbled upon something, an answer of my own. Yeah. I pull out the map of the Shadow Mountains and point to the ridge where we traveled upwards.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke of the lair of a great beast that lives in these mountains. I identified it to this location, where there's like a little X there. I was traveling around that area yesterday and decided to travel up this ridge here to see if I could locate the cave itself. What I found up there was extremely disturbing. The shadows of the trees grew long and in strange directions. The sounds of the forest all but disappeared, and I had a voice in my mind. I can't really go into what it said and what it asked of me, but I'm almost certain that voice belongs to Malchus. I think he isn't in the sky because he walks the prime material plane.
How old is Father Owen? He's pretty... This is terrible news for a cleric of Astaire. Someone who's made their entire life, worshipping law and order and trying to get people together. And here you are telling him that not only is Malchus not in the stars and doing something funny, but he's come to the prime material plane, and on top of that, he's come to the prime material plane just outside of his home.
Yes,
this
bad
is
news.
Bad news doesn't begin to cover how terrible this is to him. Where is his sheet? Come on, slowly loading. Father Owen. Oh, he's not as old as I thought he was. He's only 57. Okay. He takes a few steps back. You notice his hand is starting to quiver a little bit. He says, and... so, why do you bring this to me?
Well...
why am I the first person you speak to of this?
As powerful as I might be, Father Owen, I don't think I'm equipped to fight a god. And I'm certainly not about to become its minion. So, it's much easier to choose a side in a god versus god war than it is to fight one's war against a god yourself. Is it not possible that in these exceptional circumstances, maybe Astaire could provide guidance, provide us help?
I will certainly ask him for guidance. To be honest, I'm more than a little surprised you came to me with this. You have never been a righteous person.
Well, I didn't put much faith in the gods until they spoke to me directly. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I might not be much of a holy man myself, but I have a habit of making friends with them. Please, do what you can. Times are dire and getting worse, and I fear for all of us if I don't find some way to turn the tide.
He nods. Of course. Of course.
Well, return to your bed and sleep, and in the morning we can discuss again if you have any news.
He heads off, mumbling to himself the whole way.
All right.
Then you have a full day before Georg shows up. Not that you know that he's going to show up in a day.
Hold on a sec. The day that I was taken care of was the day that Malachi investigated the the shadow valley.
Okay, perfect. So then,
So that night was the night that I'm
right.
tying up mephits in my basement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The next day, I do actually. The next morning before I teleport, I do want to track down my ranger. I forgot to do that if I can. The guy who got me the displacer beasts. What was his name? So this will be the next morning, probably just after spell memorization.
Mm-hmm.
I do also want to maybe, I don't know what order to do this in, ranger or figure out treasure from the Chimera Lair, because it would have been divvied up before
I
we
think
left.
Tyrus has it, right? I
don't think Tyrus could even carry all of it. I think I had about. I should have.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a bunch. I was carrying a bunch. Tyrus was carrying a bunch. Malachi, I don't think was carrying very much. So maybe
That's
Tyrus
true.
is your portion. I just Gator definitely teleports back to Misty Rapids with his portion.
We haven't split it yet, though. Is my understanding.
Yeah. So can we split it right now? Or
Let's split it. Do you guys have your? Someone wrote down how much.
Nick wrote it all down.
I did write it down. So we have. Right, 500 iron pieces. 400.
So, Neal, are you ready to write down Tyrus's share?
Yeah, well, hold on. Let's write everything down first, and then we'll figure out what it is.
Sure.
All right, so it's 500 iron.
Mm-hmm.
400 plat. 2,000 silver. And 1,740 gold.
And there were some gemstones, right?
Yes.
And
7.
art objects that Neal wasn't able to appraise, but hopefully now he can tell us what they are.
7 blue quartz worth 10 gold pieces each. And 4 art objects. So, let's see. 166 iron each. 133 plat each.
Hold on just a second. Let me get...
Oh, okay.
All right. So okay, start at the beginning.
166 iron each, 133 plat each, 580 gold each, 666 silver each.
So what are you doing with the extra?
Well,
it sounds like you're rounding down. So there's one extra of each of those.
Yeah. Yes. No, there's one extra iron, plat, and silver.
All right.
And then there's
iron.
7.
So I'll take the iron. You take the plat. Tyrus takes the silver.
I mean,
we can buy out with the gem. There's an extra gem. I'll take the losing end of that transaction for the iron. Garrett's got an iron fetish. So I'll take an extra iron. You take an extra. Oh no, plat's not worth 10 gold anymore.
No, it's worth 2.
Neal, you asshole.
I mean, I don't care. You can have the extra 1 piece of everything if you want.
Yeah, we're rounding pretty minorly, right? You're ending up with 1 plat, 1 iron, and 1 silver. It's insignificant in the grand scheme. Ryan can take them all.
2 quartz
Okay.
each. So someone gets an extra blue quartz, but
Sure.
And that's okay.
Tyrus will take the extra blue quartz. Then there's the 4 art objects.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a very
clear.
No, I completely forgot to do that. There's a very clear, even without an appraisal check, order of value.
Okay, so then we'll pick them in that order, and I'll get 2.
Well, yeah. So one of them is clearly worth more than all the others put together.
So I guess the question is, do we want to get them appraised and switch and split them, or do we want to do the thing we agreed, which was...
It really depends what they are, right? Because I don't want to... I mean, if I don't know. Is the point they have no use other than their gold value?
Yeah. Unless you have something that needs like a 1,000 GP.
No, I'm just if it's
art
something
object
cool.
as a spellcaster. Yeah.
No. I'm just thinking of this cool shit to decorate my bleak ass keep with. So if it's like a an actual art object,
we all agreed that I got first.
Bicker over it. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I would assume you would get the most valuable.
Didn't we all agree that Tyrus gets the first pick?
No, Tyrus got the last 2, I think, or was that?
No, Tyrus is second. Malachi was first because he killed the Chimera.
Yeah,
Tyrus takes second, and then I got 3rd and 4th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I assume that's how we divvy up the art. I think you telling us that one is clearly more valuable doesn't make sense to me unless you tell us what they are. Like, I don't see how I can... I don't know.
I mean, it's orders of magnitude more valuable than some of the other stuff.
Okay,
hey man, that's the deal, though, right?
Yeah. That's what I was going with. Neal kind of made it more complicated by
That's the deal, Neal. Because none of us are appraisers, so it's all just guesswork. Like, if Tyra says, "Hey, but that's worth well more," I'll say, "Well, what the fuck do you know?"
Right. No, but that was the agreement, is that you divvy it up in that way.
Yeah. So do you want to tell? So what do you want us to write on our character sheets? I guess.
Okay. Right. So we're gonna do a. What could possibly be worth this much? Outlandish.
I can't believe you, Neal. Last week you were like, if only I had time to prepare, I would know what these art objects are. And here you've had a week. Well, not 4 days.
Yeah, but they've been busy.
Haven't
4
thought
days.
about it in the slightest. You need just like a list of art objects. Have you not made some such things? Make chat do this.
There's a lot of things to do. All right.
You came up with 300 spellbook names.
I do like play 12 hours of whatever it's called a day.
Or just give us gold. Like that's yeah. Either commit to the art object thing and get creative with it, or just be like, okay, and then there's an extra.
I love the backseat DMing. Love it.
Hey, no man, you do. Yeah, that's fine by me.
All right. Well, okay.
All right. So there is a gem encrusted scepter.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
I'm kind. Well, I don't know. Here's a simple man. I need to make myself a scepter out of my witch iron.
All right. You get the gem encrusted scepter. You have a. What else could a chimera have possibly stolen from a person? You've got a. That's the equivalent of, not quite.
A mirror, maybe. A mirror in a nice case.
I think a mirror in a nice case would have been destroyed in the transportation there. Like, I don't think a chimera would be able to hold it properly. I think I've figured out something. I just need to check its price if made in. No, scrap that. Ooh. Right now, that's not right. Shit.
Just things made of precious metals is fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm like just trying to figure out how much of this thing we need.
Like a golden, it's something made of gold is going to weigh several pounds. How much? And gold is worth 50 GP per pound, right? Platinum's worth 100 GP per pound.
All right, so let's scrap that gem encrusted scepter here. This is more fun. It's not a full suit. It's just like a shirt without the arms or legs, but it is a vest made of chain mithril.
Is that the first thing or the second thing?
That's the most valuable thing, clearly.
Chain shirt of mithril.
Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. That sounds like armor.
Yeah, that's like armor. Yeah, but it's not magical armor. It's just standard armor. But that's worth
cool now.
It's worth a lot. We're gonna have to change that value then. Okay, and then the next thing is the next thing is a matched mithril longsword.
I got fucked, didn't I? I got 200 GP art objects, and these guys are walking down mithril. I assume Paris takes the longsword.
Well, Malachi gets first pick, so... And Tyrus already has a +5 sword.
What are the other two things?
The other two things would be... one of them is a... What do you call it? It's a very ornate scroll case made out of some sort of exotic hide and lined with precious metals. It's got like a lock and sealing mechanism on it so that it becomes a waterproof scroll case when held down tightly. It's very fine. It looks definitely like it's made for some sort of ceremonial purposes or for some important documents, because it locks itself and it's waterproof, and it looks like it's still in good condition despite being stuck in a chimera cave for God knows how long. And the last item is going to be... Crap. I think the last item is a heavy and ornate pendant. It's got what looks to be some sort of family crest on the front of it, but you don't recognize the family crest. And then it's just got like interwoven bands of platinum and silver with a few gold bits, and then some gemstones studded around the outside. It kind of looks like maybe an octopus, but it's got more legs, kind of sprawled out and then winding back over themselves, and then like each of the ends of the tentacles curls around a gemstone, and at the very center where you'd have like the head of the octopus is instead an inset area with the family sigil or family crest on it.
Okay. Cool. What?
Yep. So Malachi, you go first. What do you want? Longsword, shirt, scroll case, or amulet?
To be clear, the mithril chain shirt's the one that's worth shitloads, right?
Yes, that amount of mithril, even if it was just melted down as an ingot, would be worth an outrageous amount of money. Made into an actual chain shirt is, still.
How much does it weigh?
Mithril weighs. Yes, you could actually you could measure it. Exactly.
Yeah, I could get a guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking here?
It's like 4.2 pounds worth of mithril.
Yeah, but how much is mithril worth a pound?
50 coins to the pound. So 4.2 times 50.
So 200 mithril, which is it 20 to the gold?
It's 20 mithril to the gold.
So it's only 4,000 gold
200
worth of straight mithril.
Right.
But it's a bit more because it's in armor form.
Right.
So the necklace has to be. So you're saying the necklace then looks like semi-precious stones?
Sounds cooler.
Because if there are gemstones that are worth more than $5,000.
Right. These are not like giant.
Yeah,
these aren't like big fat diamonds. These are smaller stones. They might be small diamonds. They might be. It's not just value or type of stone. It's also size of stone. So these,
I will. I'll take the chain shirt.
Okay. Tyrus takes a look at the remaining items. Yeah, I think he doesn't need another sword, but how can a fighter like him turn down a mithril longsword? I don't think he's going to go for it. I think Tyrus is going to go for the scroll case, actually.
Well then, I'll take the second. Is this my second mithril sword?
Your first non-magical mithril sword.
My mithril sword is not magical.
Which mithril sword do you have?
One of the gnolls in.
No shit.
Base has one.
Really?
We'll take another. This will be handy. Mithril sword and is it a longsword?
Yes.
And what was the other thing? A pendant.
Yes.
Will you remember what if I just write pendant on my character sheet, will you know what that means?
Yeah, why don't you write like octopus pendant or hydra pendant or, some sort of squid pendant, something like that.
Cephalopod pendant?
That'll do it.
Cool. And then I do want to. Am I able to get a hold of my ranger the next morning? So I memorize spells, grab my cart, and whatever it is. An ox.
Right. Your ranger has a 50% chance of being out of town on any given day.
Yeah.
So he is out of town. I'm sorry.
Okay. Does he have like a stable or like a shed out next to his house that I could leave the donkey and cart?
Sure.
Like a shed, like some sort of outdoor. Like I don't know if
you want to leave a donkey and cart.
I would like to leave the donkey and cart at his house and leave a message
saying
if that's reasonable. This is like a village. Like what was it, like some like a little ways east of Misty Rapids, right?
Yeah, yeah. What do you want to leave?
What's the guy's name even? I would like to. I mean, I was hoping I could talk to him. I'd like to tell him that we're slaying a dragon in Shirebrook, and they try and tell him come on out there. I mean, I figure for a huntsman they'll be like, holy shit, opportunity to skin a dragon. But I guess if he's not there to get excited, I'll just have to hope that
he is not.
Will entice him. And I will be leaving the cart and the donkey, presumably for him to ride down to Shirebrook.
Okay, so you're telling him to meet you in Shirebrook to help fight this?
Not fight. No. I'm hoping he'll arrive after it's dead to take away my portion of the corpse.
Got it.
And do I have his name in my notes? I don't think I do. Lance, that's totally it. He's the guy that caught me that Displacer Beast, which is pretty impressive for some backwoods ranger, if you think about it.
Backwoods rangers are the best rangers.
I'm hoping he'll be like, holy shit, Dragon Corpse.
Okay, so you leave him a message about coming to Shirebrook.
Yeah. He's not literate, is he? I can't leave him a note. I should have memorized it in magic.
You should probably pay more attention to your hirelings.
This guy's a hireling?
You've hired him to be your ranger.
Yeah.
Right? He's definitely a hireling. Cool.
So I think I'll leave him a note and hope that he can read languages. Yeah, there's got to be someone in the village that's literate, right? If he gets a note
the sheriff of that village is literate.
I'll leave the note with the ranger, with the donkey and cart out back.
Cool.
And if he can't read it, hopefully he'll find someone that can.
Okay, we're gonna take a break.
From the ranger's place, I will teleport to Shirebrook.
All right, so when we're gonna take a break, when we come back to the break, everyone's gonna be back together in Shirebrook, right?
To take down the dragon.
All right. See you guys on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.